It is absolutely gorgeous here today. It doesn't feel like autumn at all. Feels like early spring. But we're gonna pop down to see Linda now on the Feel Good Garden, book in a coffee for later, and then we'll get some gardening done. I blooming caught you.
Oh,
Started without me today, did you?
just in time. Just make the tea.
So I'm back on the plot. I've just had a coffee with Doug and Linda. We put the wrongs to right of the gardening world, and now I'm ready to start over on the plot. So I've got a pile of first tunnel hoops that I want to put on all the beds. And I know that's quite premature, but when they're in station, I kind of feel like that bed's almost ready then, you know? And the ones with the mustards and all the other green manures, I kind of want to net them as well, just to protect them a bit, because I've seen a few pests have been digging in the beds and stuff. So I want to try and give them the best chance I can. So let's do that. Now I'm taking all the opportunities I can today because of the sun to try and get as many jobs that I've been putting off because of the drizzly rain. And the one last week was that one long 14-foot bed next to the garlic. It needs to be now cleared, put to bed, or planted up with garlic. I haven't decided yet because I still got the Lautrec to go in. Yeah, but we're going to plod on today. We're going to do a hard graft, I think. I'm going to go home today in an absolute mess, but it'll be worth it because I know then some of the horrible jobs that I've been putting off will be done on the plot. So let's crack on. Let's go. So they're all in over here now. I want to tidy these nets up now because the wind have obviously bashed them around the last couple of weeks. So they're all in station. I normally have on the 10-foot beds 3 of the hoops on each of ones. And then on these 14-foot hoops, then I tend to put 4 hoops across, and they tend to hold the nets up well. And I've noticed that we've got some garlic coming up. Now, I'd like it to stay underground a little bit longer, but it's here. Only on this variety, but yeah, it's showing signs of growth. I've also started to get into the habit of stopping mid-jobs as well and having a bit of a break, rather than ploughing through for hours and hours, and then when I get home then I'm exhausted and I'm also then thirsty and aching all over. So I've started to stop a bit, get a pile of jobs done, carry on again, and it's much better. These are actually tomato sausages, so if you haven't tried them, I highly recommend. They're beautiful. And yeah, I'm now feeling like we're getting there. Most of the hoops are on now. I've still got 4 hoops to put onto that bed I'm clearing, and then yeah, we're pretty much done with the hoop sort of thing. I need to work out which beds need hoops now, but for now they can stay on where they are. And yeah, it just looks good when the hoops are on, I gotta be honest. I don't net them unless I need to, but putting them onto the beds, it just looks quite uniform on the plot now. Right, let's get this wheelbarrow in place. Beep, 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 beep. Right, it's going to be an absolute boggy mess, but it's got to be done now. Ugh. Now there is some long stalks here as well. I'll put aside because I'll have to bring like the Perennial shears over that will chop through that with no problems at all. But I can slowly see progress on the plot. There might be small steps, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Oh. It looks like the whitefly have come over to this area. It's probably on the perennial kale. These were plants that never got planted, and it's a shame. Look at that already. Such a mess. Gardening is not always about pretty flowers and nice green lush veg. It's also about this type of work as well, where you go home and need a nice hot bath. Now this bed was damaged. These boards are quite rotted, but I've got fresh ones for here that I'm going to build at some point and then give this bed a good mulch because it really needs it, and then put this bed to bed, I think. Or it'll be the garlic. I'll decide some point today. I'm not even looking at that area at the back yet. I mean, that's for another day. I mean, it's an absolute tragedy over there, but we'll get to it. Now I'm thinking perhaps I should bark these two areas here, or this area here and down there, only because this is where I walk the most, and then when the rest, then the wood chip comes down there, call it bark all the time. When more arrives, then I can do the rest, but I should put it really where there's the most amount of traffic through autumn and winter. I mean, it's not so bad, but I mean, look at all this. This is all just fallen leaves and foliage. It's crazy. Let's get the hoe. Where's me hoe? We've got the slimmer one, but there is a wider one as well. These nasturtiums, I tell you what, they're an absolute menace. They really are. I really can see the light through the trees now. I really can. So I'm starting to smile more and more looking at the garden because, yeah, there's a lot of progress been made the last couple of weeks. But there's still thousands more jobs to do. I know this will get covered with leaves again, but I want to try and get most of the rubbish and most of the foliage off these beds now, and I'm going to dig through this again just to make sure all the perennial weeds are out. And then I'm thinking this could be the next garlic bed, but and that's the problem with planting over winter. Even though I have not got actual crops in the beds, those 6 beds are out of action for winter. 3 of them got the green manure, the other one got the sprouts and some leeks in, swede, and obviously purple sprouting broccoli and kalibos cabbage, which I'm going to harvest today as well for a nice roast tomorrow. The leaves make the allotment look so messy as well, and they're just nature. There must be a mouse or something over here because this cat has been lingering around in this corner all morning, and he keeps popping his head down and looking down into the corner, so I think he's looking for some lunch. Funny story about this cat as well, I don't actually know its name, but on social media in the summer, people were asking, have you seen our cat? We've not seen him for weeks and we're worried about him. And there was pictures of him, and I commented on there and actually said, yeah, he sleeps in the greenhouse all the time. I leave the door open for him, he sleeps in there, and I pop some treats in for him as well, or her. And the amount of people that commented saying, we do the same. So this cat goes around all the allotments, all the area, and gets treats off everyone. So I'm surprised it's not the size of a house. Do you know what's worse than weeding? Perennial weeding. These get on my nerves, because if you don't dig them up deep down to the roots, they just come back over and over again. So you need to get them out as deep as you can. I mean, look at that tap root. Nightmare. I mean, they're worse than the nasturtiums, really, because they go down so deep. But they do bring goodness up to the top, I suppose. But they're all part of nature's game, I suppose. But for me, they're a headache. And they always seem to get in the corners or down the sides of the paths, so you can't really get to them that easy. That's the only problem with them. Now these ones will be put into the sack and taken over for green waste, because there's no point you popping them on the compost, they might root again. I don't know if you've seen the video where Lisa, one of the plot holders, she made dandelion root coffee, and it was actually okay. It tasted a bit like chicory, and God, look at that, like a blooming parsnip. And it tasted quite nice. I didn't expect it to be as nice as I thought it would be, but yeah. Have you tried it? Have you tried dandelion coffee by roasting the roots and drinking it like coffee? No caffeine, and apparently it's good for you. Right, I'll get on with this and I'll get back to you. So, change of plan. So I prepared this bed ready for the garlic. Now I probably overestimated how much garlic I've got. The Lautrec for this bed, this would take quite a lot of garlic. So I've got a lot in here now, and I've got some elephant garlic over there. So I think I'm going to put it in one of these beds, or one of the beds over in that plot, because it would only come to here anyway. So I may as well cover this now with some mustard seed that I've got. Hopefully then it'll do a nice green manure on this bed. And then once that dies off then, because I was going to top dress this with manure anyway, I may as well put the mustard down, and then when it dies over in winter, put the manure on top. So that's the plan for that bed. So let's put this Lautrec over there somewhere. So I'm thinking this bed here, the beds at the front get a lot of sun, granted, but they're harder to hoop. This one, I could put some hoops across here, the metal ones, and this will be covered over then for summer. So that's the plan, I think. Is it the plan? It's the plan. Look at the cat now. He's decided now to move into the carrot bin. Now there is a few carrots growing in there, so he obviously is enjoying that little dome that I've now put on top. He's just nosing at what I'm up to, I think. Have I just adopted a plot cat? So, I did cover this over for winter, but doesn't matter. Oh. Plans are meant to be changed, right? Right, I'm hoping this will be enough Lautrec for this bed. So I think if I just hope for the best. I think I've done garlic over here before and it worked out okay many years ago. Maybe I could get 4 here. Probably could get 4 in a row, do you think? Maybe even 5. 5. I'm going to place them all out so that I know what I'm doing. God, they smell beautiful. Have you got all your garlic in now? I'm hoping this is going to be one of the last jobs now for planting wise. I've still got many things to do, and I also want to put some garlic in modules, which I mentioned last video, so that if any don't come up, I've then got a few that I can actually just plant in a month or two's time, so that I've got a full bed of garlic. This seems to be doing okay. I'm trying to get the best. I don't want to just put any old cloves in. I'm just trying to put the best ones in. And the good thing about planting in different areas is, like I've mentioned, if you've got a pest in that bed, then like allium leaf miner, you still get a harvest in summer. Last one. This, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I think that's enough garlic. More than enough. Right, let's get it in. I will put a top dressing of manure over this now as well, just to give it a boost, because I haven't fed this bed since the summer, so it will need a feed, and then I'll give it a seaweed feed then as well in spring. So that's the plan. Right, I'll finish this and then I'll get back to you once I've done it. There we go. Last job for this bed. Whew. And it's actually the last bag of manure I've got. So that worked out okay. The worms in this is beautiful. It's lovely to see. Here we go. That should feed the bed on the garlic for winter. Oh. Whew. Honestly, right. Next job. God, I'm in a state. Right. Cat's in the polytunnel now. It's awful needy. The mustard. Now, this is the green manure white mustard that I thought I was going to get for next year. I know I bought some, but maybe I'll rake that first, loosen the soil a bit. I know Tony's got mustard on his beds. I'm sure it was white mustard, he said. I'm not sure now. But anyway, I've got some. So I think I'm gonna rake this over to here like I did last time. Like so. And then sprinkle this on the bed. Now I'm going to do this quite heavily, mainly because I don't think this is going to grow to a huge size before the frost comes. So I'm thinking if I just put a bit extra on, it'll germinate and we'll get a nice cover And then when the frost comes in, it'll die down into the bed. And plus the birds will have some of it as well, I'm sure. I don't know if you've seen in the last video, Tony's got it on some of his beds and it looks lovely. It looks like a nice green carpet on the beds. So I'll do the same, hopefully. Whew. I love doing this, you know, just skimming it across and it completely covers the seed and it's just an easy way of sowing. Here we go. I'd like to say this is the last job, it's not. This will brighten up the place anyway. I'm hoping 2 sacks should be enough when you just need to do a top dressing and then I can do the rest then when we get some. Look at that. Puts a smile on my face, I tell you. It really does. I am going to fix this bed, like I said, but for now, I'll pop these hoops on just to put the icing on the cake, and then I'll build a new bed then as soon as I can. I absolutely love these hoops, and most of them I bought myself, some were gifted by First Tunnels. I'll put a link to them in the description for you. There's no affiliate to them for the hoops, but if you are interested in them, I'll pop a link in the description for you. Now these ones are 3 foot wide, you can get 4 foot, 5 foot, and you can also buy extension poles, which I've got, which I'm going to put on the sprouts very soon. They are an investment, but I've had some of these for God since I started the channel 4 years ago, and there's not a speck of rust on them or damage, and they definitely do the job. Well, I'm absolutely thrilled with that now. I mean, it definitely does, you know, set it up ready for spring. Garlic and ewe, green manure in that bed as well, and then who knows what that'll be in spring, but I'm pleased these are done now. It just seems like there's another tick off the list. And I'm happy that all the garlic is in now. Obviously I still got to do some in modules, so let me know in the comments, what garlic are you doing this year? What garlic have you grown before that and you've had huge success with? Because I'm always looking for newer and better options through the years. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And the good thing about this now is that this is where I'm going to be walking most of the time. Ideally I want to do this one as well because I do come down that path, but hopefully we'll get some wood chip very soon. Right, before I forget, I'm going to get some leeks, swede and kalibos cabbage, and I also promised Linda some as well for a Sunday roast, so I'll get her a nice kalibos cabbage now. Let's have a look. Here we go. Look at that. Now kalibos are beautiful inside. Take off some of the leaves. Bear with me. Look at that. Look at the colour of that. It's absolutely beautiful. So kalibos done. Let's get another one. And some lovely swedes. I mean, look at those. They'll be beautiful now, roasted or mashed. So yeah, mine will be cubed up and boiled and put onto the plate for Sunday lunch. I'm on a nice chicken roast, so one for me, one for Linda. Right, let's get some leeks. I mean, look at that. They're absolutely beautiful. These are the Northern Lights. They haven't quite got that purple tinge yet, but there's plenty growing, so I'm sure she'll be happy with some of those. So if you haven't got a polytunnel or a greenhouse or a potting shed, how do you manage, you know, at your growing space? Like, do you just give up for the winter and just go indoors and wait for spring, or pot on your windowsill? Let me know. Yeah, because every growing space is completely different. I've still got piles of daffodils to go in and many other things, but I'm not putting the pressure on. I feel like I'm ahead of the game already this year. I know the plot is looking messy in some areas, but we're getting there. I'm very happy that, I'd say 60% of the plot now is ready for spring. There's just certain areas, especially where the scary shed is, that got to be knocked down, and there's a tree behind there, like it's not even a tree, it's just a stump, and a lot of ivy and whatnot grow up all around it. That needs to be taken down, because I'm worried that once I take the shed down, there's not going to be no stability for that, and then when the winds come, that might come down and crash on things that are in the garden. So that's also on the agenda. But once all that gets done, it's actually, I'm in November now. I've still got November, December, January, February. I've got 4 months to go, and I've already done it within the last 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, I'm ahead of the game, I think. And I am sorry if the videos are a lot of preparing beds, digging beds, mulching beds, planting garlic and, green manure, but that's just what happens. And, in October and November, I can't change the way the gardening season is. It can't always be the most entertaining thing on the plot. But I'm sorry anyway, but that's just the way allotment life is. And one of the next jobs to start looking at now is your strawberries, dividing them, digging them out of the bed if you're not putting them in the same spot again. I'm going to start dividing mine up again in the baskets and put them in the polytunnel, but again, I'm leaving that for a rainy day. And yeah, that's just one of the things I'm trying to do right now. Is I'm looking at the forecast, and today was the only dry day we've had in 2 weeks, and I've spent it at the plot because I want to try and get some of those jobs done, but I'm trying to hold back all the other jobs for the polytunnel for when the storms come. And yeah, strawberries are on the list next for the hanging baskets, I think, and then I should get them then earlier in the season. So if you haven't grown strawberries in hanging baskets and you've got a greenhouse or a polytunnel, I highly recommend it. Even if you've got some spare plants, pop them in some hanging basket with a little bit of well-rotted manure in the bottom, and honestly, you will get them on about a month earlier than outdoors. I'm done for the day. I'm going to come back again tomorrow or the next day, damage or any bugs on them, because they're hanging up high in the polytunnel and they're getting that nice heat through the day. I think that's me done for the day, but I think I'm going to come back again through the week and carry on plodding on with the job. So yes, the next time you see me should be now. So it's the next day, and of course the heavens opened up last night and it's an absolute bog here, but I've come over because I thought I'd planted all my garlic. Now I planned out all the beds, everything's now done, but Tony over at Tony C. Smith promised me some garlic. Do you mind? But Tony C. Smith promised me some Mersey White, and I've been trying to get this for a few years, and every time I try and order it, it's always out of stock. But he sent me 2 cloves, so I'm going to find a spot for that now. Now there is a few possibilities for it, and also within a day the green garlic has come up over on the other bed, so perhaps I needed that boost of rain, So yeah, within this boggy mist, as you can see, we've got some life in this bed. So all the green manures in this bed now have seemed to be showing some life. It's deciding where to put it now, so let's have a think. So I have got a gap at the bottom of this leek bed here that I left, but the problem is the leeks will be coming out before then, and this probably could be used for something else, and I don't just want to have a couple of garlic there, so I think we're going to put it on the other plot somewhere. Now I have got this area here spare, so I think I'm going to put it here. I've got elephant garlic this side, but this side I've got nothing at the moment, so it'd probably be wise to try and keep it together. There's so many nasturtiums through this bed, so let's just give it a little tickle over. There we go. Now I've wanted to grow this for a while, and people have said that it grows so well. So I'm going to try and put a few in this bed. Now these are decent sized cloves as well. So yeah, I'm going to pop a few of these in the bed, and hopefully we'll get a lovely crop from them. Now, I'm not spacing them too close together. I want them to grow to a decent size. And whatever ones I don't use, I'll pass on. I think I'm going to be inundated by garlic by summer, but that's okay. That's even better for me. But when I need space to grow other things later on, I might regret it. I need to label these beds, so I need to write up some of those labels, because I'm definitely going to forget, and it's not like me to do it by now, but I'm not going to remember, I know it. So I better get that done straight away. And I'm just going to simply make a little hole and pop it in. This soil is quite free draining, so hopefully it'll do well here. We shall see. Now I am going to top dress this with some manure or compost manure in the next week or so, and then this bed should be okay then for the season. At least then I know that this bed is all garlic and I won't have to change this bed over, you know. So I'm going to move my bamboo again. So elephant garlic there, Mersey white here. Another job done. And I don't know why I brought gloves. They never blooming listen and they never do it. Why did I do that? Well, I'm glad now all the garlic is done and this will be the harvest for 2026. So I'm kind of pleased now that all the garlic's in. I'm Danny and this is Grow Up.